Boom. We're in.
Yeah.
Yes. Mike's good. We looking
Mics
good.
are good. Yeah, we're good.
Sweet.
We're good.
Sweet.
Turn you down a little bit. It might be a little too high, but we're all good. We're all good. We're just starting. It's cool. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 3 and 2 into the 1.
That was the weirdest thing you could have ever said. Why did you say that?
I just wanted to. It popped up in my head.
Good Lord.
It was the first thing that just it was there. It popped up, and it just shot out of my mouth.
Don't do it again.
Okay.
Don't do it again.
Am I too loud?
No, a little bit. It's because you're getting really close to the mic. Like when I get really close, it does it. But it's okay. We're all good.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, anyways, topic of today. This is episode number 21. How to find opportunity through creativity.
Yeah.
How did this spark? How did this conversation spark?
Well, I know you had the idea. I said the creativity part because like I was trying to. I've been watching a lot of movies lately.
I think that, and I was just about to say that. I think that kind of came from you.
Yeah, I had been watching a lot of movies lately, and I watched it's like the idea. I was watching like a lot of like classics, and like the first one, like let's just say like The Godfather. The first one was really good, and then 2 and 3 are like not as good. They're just not as good.
No, Godfather 2 is good, man.
The third one was bad.
Third one wasn't
very good.
Wasn't as good.
But you see that a lot in series, and like the idea was like you can't confuse creativity with desperation.
Sure.
So it's like a lot of times people like those guys obviously rushed that and it didn't come out the way they wanted it to be because it was just rushed. It was like
freaking Game of Thrones season 6.
I didn't watch, but I heard. But
the last season of Game of Thrones, God,
it
was very rushed.
Yeah, you and like as a consumer and like a viewer, you can sense it.
Right.
You witness it, and like everybody, you can see that in everything, and it's like
no question.
You can't confuse it with like.
It was very clear to me that as an example, everyone. I mean, a lot of people could definitely see that whole last season was completely rushed.
Yeah.
There was a lot of dialogue, a lot of storyline that was completely left out that could have been in there to manipulate the storyline a little bit more. Basically, a little bit more character development. I mean, obviously, like, and this can apply to so many different things. But we bring up this, I think a lot of people can relate.
This is relatable to this, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people can relate and will be able to relate this sort of idea towards other things they may be doing in their life. The mere fact that something so big like Game of Thrones, like a fucking show like Game of Thrones, could end up rushing shit and it could be bad. So you could even be at the top of the fucking ladder, rolling through, fucking butter on the roll, going, and fuck it up if you're rushing shit.
Yeah.
And it might have been a product of them trying to experiment or be a little bit more creative or whatever. I really don't know.
You could tell though, like with the coffee cup
but you could tell
and
that
like that it was just like so poorly done.
Rushing shit can fuck things up.
Yeah.
Really, really bad.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, that's kind of where it came from. It's just like you see these people that are like at the top, like these are big Hollywood people, and they just rush, and it's like,
bam, that sucks.
Like you see that they're like desperate to just make something, and it's just like it's garbage.
Not to mention the fact that people were waiting like 1 or 2 years for the final season.
Yeah, bro. So, it's like, yo, what the hell?
Yeah, that really fucks things up a lot.
I think money has to do with that's a whole.
That's
story.
another. Well, yeah, no, I don't think it's actually like. That very much applies.
Like money and like
that very much applies, because
people
are
wanting
so desperate
more money
to give their money, they put shit out. I mean, it's the same with like artists and music influencers.
You see it
and shit
all the
like
time
that.
with artists.
Yeah, for sure. That happens all the time. I think money is a huge
like
influence.
Logic, man.
Fucking Logic,
guy with
man.
the trash.
Throws out trash with fucking lemon drop, man. So here's my thing. They're trying to be creative. They're trying to find new opportunity, but where do you kind of find the fine line where, hey, you're trying these experiments, you're doing this creative stuff, you're trying to find opportunity through your work, and your work can be applied to many different things. It can be, your corporate job, to your own business, to entrepreneurship, to music, to gaming, to anything, really. Where do you kind of find the fine line between creating content and producing, your product, but also trying to find opportunity and be patient with that? So how do you work through that?
Finding, like, I think patience is key, man. Honestly, like, you have to know that if you're going to start something, corporate job's a little different. I think that's in the corporate world, it's a little different. I think you have to put in a lot of hard work.
I
sure,
think it's a
patience.
lot of patience.
It's a lot of patience because you really don't know when that's going to happen. It's not really in your control. I think that stuff like this or like gaming or like writing or like making music or whatever. That's kind of in your control.
Yeah,
like
my dad was telling me about how this guy at his job, it took him, he's the current CFO of his company.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the hell did he get there?
It took him like 30 years.
Took him like 30 years. He was like, oh yeah, well he started off an accountant when he was like 18 or whatever the hell.
Straight out of college,
and then
probably.
and then just worked his way up for 30 years, all the way up to the position.
Like that's a long time, man.
Yeah.
Like, and hey, dude, like if you're just like dreaming of,
but I mean,
like,
he's a millionaire now.
If you're dreaming of being an entrepreneur, like, or I'm not an
entrepreneur,
entrepreneur, like a CFO or like a high class corporate officer, like,
yeah, that's pretty
sure,
good.
man, go ahead. But you
There's
know
a certain
that
type of breed of people that
and like,
are built for that sort of thing.
And you know that. I was watching that movie like was it The Big Short, about like the people that that work on like Wall Street and stuff like that. Like they're kind of not really corporate, but kind of corporate. And I thought about it, and I was like, they make it seem like it's so fun, but like I know the corporate world, it's not for me. Like, but like you see it. There's certain people that thrive in that area.
They thrive by the rush.
Yeah, man. Like, go ahead.
Being around people and being around a lot of,
that's fine. Like, cool.
You know,
but like getting like if you're gonna get into that, you have to know like, hey, dude, like this is gonna take a while.
Sure.
So like I think you sign up for that. I think the same like reason like you sign up for like if you're gonna be like a musician or something, it's like you have to know that you're gonna get what you put into it. So if you're grinding every single day and like putting out content and like making new content and
showing off your lifestyle,
showing off whatever.
I also think like if you have a really good personality, honestly, like
it's like being a good person.
If you're a good person and you have a really good personality, the ability to create and find patients becomes a lot better because you kind of fill those gaps with you know, kind of being a good person. I think.
Yeah, I think that helps people relate to you. If you're a relatable, genuine dude, like people can smell bullshit like a mile away, dude. Mm-hmm. Always. Yep. That's just how it is. So like if you're a genuine person, it makes it easier for someone to back you and like, oh, that guy's legit. Yeah. And he's a good guy. He makes good shit. Mm-hmm. And I think that people get confused. It's like they want something so bad, and this is where things get forced. Right. It's like I want this so bad, like I want to be a gamer, but I suck. So you push and push and push and push and push, and it's like forcing it because you're still trash. Right. Same with like if you want to be a writer, but you're not really creative in that aspect. It's like, but I want to write so bad. You're just gonna force something out, and it's not gonna be good.
But I also think, well, yeah, and you're right. But I also think like even kind of like forcing yourself to do things a little bit and getting out of your comfort zone,
it does help. Yeah.
But at the same time, you also have to realize like if you're looking to find progression and get results from whatever you're putting out by tomorrow, it ain't gonna
work. Yeah, it's like
it's gonna take years. But
Rome wasn't built in a day, man.
That's what I'm saying. And you can either apply yourself to like the corporate world where you take 30 years to get to a position to where you want, or you can kind of switch it over to like building your own business or building your own you know, music lifestyle or gaming or whatever the fuck you're doing, and realizing that, you know, hey, this might take 5 to 10 years to get to where I am at. So it's still going to take time. But
yeah, and the difference with that is that people, when they look at something like that, let's just say like you have someone that sits here and tells you like, you want to be an artist. Okay, cool. This isn't, I mean, it's impossible to know, but if someone wants to be like, hey, it's going to take you 6 years to get to the spot that you want to be. Yeah. And if you're like, fuck, that takes too long. Yeah. That's too fucking long. That's too much. It's like, hey, then maybe that's not really your dream. Because people that you see people that do these things, it's like, they're like, fuck yeah, dude, I don't care. Because they're doing what they love, so it's cool. Like, they don't mind doing it.
It's the same thing with working out, dude. Like, they're like, oh, shit, it's going to take me 5 years to get, like, abs. Like, fuck. I don't want to do that shit. Fuck that. And they have a closed mind and just fucking go off and eat pizza. There's people that are like that. It's like, why am I going to work out? It was going to take so long. Yeah. It's like, it's a fucking grind, that's
man.
Literally like, that's everything.
People like that, man, they bother me, but that's a whole.
And like I was telling you earlier, that goes through with like social media shit, where you see those gurus and people like get fucking
make you rich
million
today.
Followers tomorrow.
It's the same people that are like, read my book because I can give you all the secrets to being successful. Motherfucker, there's no secret.
There ain't no secret, bro. It's fucking hard work.
Exactly. Like, it's like, I don't understand how people can say. And I know remember we had an argument with my sister about those books. Yeah. And she wasn't getting it. She wasn't understanding what I was saying. I was like, those books are trying to give you this like secret of like how to not give a shit. It's like you can't read someone telling you. It's like you have to do it. You can have someone sit here and tell you all fucking day.
I think that you can give perspective. There's perspectives on ways to like not give a shit. So how do you build your mind and create your like put yourself? So like for that book specifically, I think it talks about like putting yourself in a mindset to not give a shit about things. Like, how do you get yourself to do that in the first place? Where it can benefit you. But on the flip side, like, honestly, it's going to ultimately come down to you not giving a shit and just fucking doing it. And so
I think
these people are honestly smart because they market towards people.
Well, they know what they're doing.
Are not fucking patient.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm not taking anything away from that. I'm just saying that people buy into that shit, and it's like that's not going to help you if you're really looking to like succeed and get better.
Right, and so you see Billy Bob saying that he's gonna get you $30 million by tomorrow. I mean, shit, ain't gonna work, coach.
It's impossible.
No.
It's literally impossible. I don't buy that shit. Same with like that guy, the one that's like, what's that little guy with the glasses? He always comes on.
Tai Lopez.
That guy. I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Research, books, cars. Yeah, that's what he does.
I know, and I'm just like, this guy. This or that.
Yeah, I know.
That guy.
It's all and it's funny because it's all psychology, like marketing. It's marketing psychology. So they get you like, oh, come to my free master class, my free web class. There's only a certain amount of seats available. Join now. It's free. And then you go all the way through it, and they offer you a fucking $150 class.
Yeah.
For shit that you can look up on Google.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That shit bothers me so much, man. It's the same thing with fitness. That people are like,
right,
buy my program and I'll get you shredded in 6 weeks.
Yeah, no. I mean, it is definitely the same thing. Which is why I believe for people that are trying to put out stuff like that and finally get like a little bit of a paycheck from like doing whatever they want to do, like you've got to give away a lot of free content and give people someone that they can trust.
Yeah.
So
people that are doing it right.
Right. So people need to get a lens into your life. They need to see who you are, what kind of product you offer by basically showing them things that you know.
Yeah.
Because if you just fucking charge people for things, they're going to be so caught up in the fucking price of this thing and be like, how the fuck do I know that this person knows what they're talking about?
You know what I mean? That's
the
thing is like, if you want to make something, you got to give value. That's what we're talking about. It's like you got to give for free. Like you got to show that you're worth it, and then you ask.
Right.
You don't ask and then show. It doesn't work like that. People don't want to do that though. They want a fucking paycheck tomorrow. Right. They want to say, "Oh, I'm living my dream doing XYZ, and I'm making money off it. I don't have to work a corporate job, blah blah blah." It doesn't just happen like tomorrow.
No,
it's impossible.
It is, but I think people need to experience a little bit of progression every single time. So like, or a little bit of results. So, I think what gets people continuing to work hard on their craft or continue to find new ways to be creative and find more opportunities, like it's the results that brings consistency.
Yeah.
So when you're seeing physical results and statistics and you're weighing yourself every day after the gym or whatever, you're seeing progress in yourself, it almost instills something into you where like you don't want to stop. Yeah, and people don't work hard enough or long enough to experience that small result to where they want to continue.
It's a sense of like it's a deep feeling of gratification that you can't get from like purchasing something.
Exactly.
It's a separate gratification.
It's a separate feeling.
And that's like an example. It's like that's why I run. It's like because you can run these long distances.
And you physically see in your time.
Yeah, it feels good, man. Like you like, holy shit, I ran 15 miles, bro. And like when you start something, you're like, fuck, this is gonna be tough. And it's a sense of like feeling of like satisfaction.
Correct.
That only comes from like doing like shit like that.
And it was only something that you did.
Yeah.
Not anybody else. It's a you versus you thing.
It's like inside. It's like that's the same thing. It's if you're gonna whatever you do, if you're gonna work out and like you're losing weight, it's like damn. And I tell this to everybody because I have people that ask me all the time, like, oh, I want to lose weight. I'm like, okay, like. Do XYZ, like damn, it's gonna be really hard. I'm like, yeah, but the results are addicting, I promise.
Yes,
it's addicting.
And that's the thing.
Yeah. And
that's how people should become more creative.
Yeah.
Because if you're finding different avenues of producing things and you finally see results and progress through one of them, it'll create opportunity for you. That's the whole point. And these are just analogies to find like for this topic that we're on. These are just basic analogies, but it applies to so many different things. So I think like being able to find opportunity, it takes a little bit of time, and people need to understand that.
Finding opportunities everywhere, man. Like if you have a cell phone, you have opportunity.
Yeah.
Like.
Absolutely.
Like there's so much.
It's gonna be different for different types of work that you're looking for, jobs or things you're trying to do. But yeah, it's all there, man. Like the lack of the ability to find opportunity is
dude, like especially like for
crazy
people
luck.
like if you're a fitness influencer, if you're gonna be if you're anything in art, musician, if you're somebody that draws, if you paint,
Right.
if you make music,
even
if
the
you
mere
write,
fact that you can find other jobs through a click of a button
Mhm.
on an app, like
Opportunity,
that's an
man.
opportunity.
Well, like the crazy thing was, man, people like during the coronavirus were like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
People during the pandemic were like,
Yes.
oh my god, there's no jobs, there's nothing. Oh my god, what am I gonna do? But like I watched, like I just went on Indeed just for the fuck of it,
Yeah.
and there's plenty of people hiring.
Hmm.
I saw people that were getting job offers that were
Yeah.
starting jobs during that time.
Right.
It's out there. You just have to
gotta
find
look.
it, and you gotta look, and you gotta apply yourself, and you gotta inquire. It's like it's there, dude.
Yep.
But people are like,
People are lazy,
It's
though.
bad outside. I don't want to go.
Yeah,
it's
they
just
create
so bad.
excuses.
It's easier to feel like, and we say this a lot, but it's easier to feel like a victim, man. Like
Yeah,
it's
sure.
so easy.
And that's where that whole thing that came out. Remember when we first talked about it? That whole meme was like, oh, well, we're going through a pandemic. Like it's okay to be, you know,
To be sad.
to be sad, and this is a hard time. And like, that can only go so far. Like, are you gonna be sad forever, or are you gonna find opportunity? Are you gonna like push
Yeah.
yourself to look other different places after being put on furlough or losing your job? Like, those are the like.
But and the crazy thing is, like being on furlough or being like let go, that was happened. Stuff like that stuff happened before. Like people lost their jobs all the
And
time.
millions of people lost their jobs. Like,
Because of that, I'm just
Yeah.
saying before all this happened, people were still losing their jobs.
Yeah.
It's something. It's a fact of life. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna happen. You don't
Yeah.
know what's gonna happen tomorrow
Right.
or whenever.
right.
It's like this shit happened before. It's like, what are you gonna do about it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, okay, let's say there was no pandemic and you lost your job. What are you gonna do about it? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's just like that's so
It's the same thing.
stupid, man.
It's the
like,
same thing.
grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the best I can put it. Is just like open your eyes, turn on your
Mm-hmm.
phone, because I guarantee you a lot of people that listen to us have a cell phone,
Right.
and it's just like put out
Yeah.
content for free, whatever. And you have to know that it's got to be free. You got to give value.
Which is how I was able to like basically start this whole thing when I lost
Yeah.
my position.
Mhm.
When I was put on furlough, I didn't completely lose my position, but on furlough, the first thing I did was like, holy shit, okay, I've got all this free time. I enjoy working out and doing my fitness thing, whatever. What are some of the ways I can research and kind of like
Maximize your time.
maximize my time and follow other people's successful fitness owners, footsteps as this whole pandemic is going on. Like, what are they doing to continue to drive their business or any of that stuff?
Yeah.
And holy shit, like I've opened up like so many other things that I didn't even know existed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking into,
Yeah.
and it might not be so much so like the mere fact that I've created that thing yet, but the mere fact that I'm even just researching it, that's work.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
you're researching and taking time
You're
to
learning.
learn that.
Yeah.
That is work, and that is
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah.
I see that as progress.
Absolutely.
Because it takes effort to get your fucking computer out and type these things out and learn and research what the hell people are doing, what services people are doing,
Mhm.
what softwares they're working with, like,
Absolutely.
and that applies to anything else. Like,
Yeah.
what I don't know, this is just a basic example, like what mics and what webcams are people using for gaming, what laptops, what keyboards, what
Yeah.
works the fastest, what
Hell yeah,
what
dude.
computers do. Like, that takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
And just even learning and sitting there and learning that information,
Yeah, dude.
that is work.
Yeah.
And so even something like that, like that's gonna take some time to put in.
Yeah, it's like
into
that,
as well.
and that's a problem because that can become overwhelming for people. They don't want
Sure,
to get into that.
absolutely.
It's like, man, like if you want to be the best, you have to study the best.
Yeah.
Like
Totally agree.
I firmly believe that. It's
Totally
like
agree.
like I know I'm trying to start writing my a screenplay. It's like, okay, so I had like started like all weekend was watching film and like looking at like famous directors
Mhm.
and like where they came from, where they started. Did they go to film school? Where they go to film school? What do they use? What programs? It's just like there's just you got to like look into all that
Mhm.
shit. It's like finding out how what made them the best and how I can emulate that to make myself the best.
Right.
And that can apply to anything.
Sure.
You can look at training styles.
Yeah.
You can look at how people have built their careers in the corporate world or whatever. If that's
Yeah.
what you want to do. Where did you start? What job did you start? What did you go to
Right.
school for?
How do you ask for a raise from somebody?
yeah, how do you ask for it? You know, and you can like there's
Anything
YouTube,
like that.
Google,
Yeah.
it's all out there. You
Right.
just have to sit down,
Right.
put the fucking phone down,
Right.
and just look
Right.
and find it, and it's there.
Yep.
It's really there, man.
I like the one that you said where you're like just going on Facebook and typing in on like groups pages and finding
Yeah,
like a
like-
group of people that
and
are
that-
doing the same thing that you're doing.
Yeah, it's like so when I was looking for the bike, I didn't end up buying the bike, but that's how
Right.
I found out about like what bikes were good and what I needed to look for in a bike. Is like I was like, okay, so if I go on Facebook and I say
Mhm.
bike for sale,
Right.
and you click on the bike. This is kind of like, it's not really stalkers, but it's like, this is how you legitimately see it. It's like, okay, so this guy was selling like a $600, $700 bike.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the bike. I Googled it. I said, okay, this bike is mediocre. It sells for about $1,000 brand new. Okay, so let me look at his page to see if he's biked. Looks at his page. There's like 3 biking pages he's part of. Looking at the biking pages, and people have discussions all day about different products and different stuff, and it's like, that's how you find it, man.
Yeah.
And that's when I found out that I can't afford to bike right now. It's fucking expensive.
Expensive.
But I found out.
My gear was like fucking $400.
But the point I'm trying to make, the point I'm trying to make is I found out because I did the research and I looked through this and I looked through that, and like these are just local forums, like from people in San Antonio on bike shit that just bike on the weekends.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's crazy how, you know, and I hate to say it like this, but like we kind of created like this victim culture where we should kind of feel sorry for ourselves because we're we're put in a hole, right? And so a lot of people are marketing to those sorts of people to get out of that hole very, very quickly.
It's easier that way.
It's easier that way.
It's easier.
And I think like understanding that, hey, we might be in a hole as a generation, but also understanding the fact that things aren't going to happen overnight, and learning from these gurus or these paid advertisements and sponsors from, you know, Instagram and freaking Facebook, like you have to understand that it takes work to research these things.
Yeah.
And everybody is taking time. Like all the people you follow, all the inspirations and fitness inspos you follow, like all that shit, like they all took a lot of time to research and learn these things.
Yeah, dude,
and it took them years to get to where they're at. It didn't happen overnight.
Yeah, I think it's easier for people, and that's a huge thing. I've been dealing with this, and I never witnessed it firsthand than I did in somebody, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, just like needing for you to feel bad for them, and like,
right.
Like I don't mean to be a dick. I'm just like, dude, get the fuck away from me. Like my life's been pretty like, dude, like I can't fathom like someone just sitting and pouting and crying that my life is just so bad when like you know this person, you're like your life's really not that bad. Like you ain't seen shit yet.
Right.
Like
that's what I'm saying.
It's so easy for people like to just sit down and be like, oh, poor me. It really is, and like people like they prey on people like, oh, don't worry, it's gonna be okay.
Right.
And you know, me and that person didn't get along well because I didn't do that shit. I'm just like, yeah, I can't do this. Get away from me. I can't handle that because like life's hard, bro. Like anybody that fucking made it had to face some sort of obstacle.
I was reading somewhere that like 80 or 90% of millionaires don't actually inherit money from like the previous generation, like their parents.
No,
they're actually like self-made. Like a good majority. I don't hold me to that percentage. I know it's a good.
It's a chunk. It's a good chunk.
It's a good chunk. I would say about like 3/4 at approximately.
Yeah. They
create their own business and reach up to that point of success by creating it themselves. And you can go and look at these individuals and these people, and they've taken years to get to where they're at.
Yeah.
You know, and they always hear about the story where I had $150 in my wallet. This and this and that. How did I allocate my assets and push it towards something that's going to continue to make me more money in the long run, rather than just spend it on bullshit? Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. People, and that's the thing is like people like that's such a good story, but like it's so true. Like man, like and the crazy thing is it's never a linear path.
And that's what I was just about to say. So people are always wanting, and it's just like school, man. And this is why I don't like the education system a lot, because it's just like they want an answer that's just like school. They want like, all right, step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3,
like
step 4, step 5. All right, boom, you're a millionaire. You won. It's like it doesn't work that way. There are so many different paths and avenues of failure that happen for everybody in their life.
So that's the thing is like, so I said I look at how like all these people made it, and I look how do I emulate that?
Different.
There's no way you'll ever emulate someone's path.
No,
you just won't. It's impossible.
There might be like a general like thing that they like, maybe a common thing they might have done.
We kind of both did this, but like in reality, like your path to success is not going to be the same as anybody else's.
There is no step by step.
You will never have the same exact process. You may have similarities in your process, but it's never going to be the same process.
I do also think if you're researching and learning about these people, you'll also learn where not to trip up. Like maybe do the same thing they did and they like failed at it.
Yeah, it's okay.
So that might be helpful to you.
Yeah.
But when you're being offered like a step-by-step course on how to become a multimillionaire by the age 25,
bullshit.
It's bullshit. Come on, get real. Like it takes work. It takes work.
Yeah.
But like, you should enjoy that work. You should enjoy that you're freaking dirt broke and you have the opportunity to try to like do something and learn something by research. That's fun for me.
So like being dirt broke, honest,
gives you perspective.
Like not having a lot of money to spend is fine. Yeah, it gives you perspective. It really does. The thing with that is people don't want to feel that, man, because it's not cool.
And that's the thing. Like, people would rather take the $60,000 job, corporate office, 9 to 5, whatever, and be miserable at work, than quit and start their own job or start their own business and get paid $20,000 a year, but have the freedom and time to do whatever they want.
Yeah, man, it's insane.
It's instilled in our minds that we must feel, we must feel good because we're getting paid more, and that's not necessarily the case. And that's where people trip up. They don't want to like find more opportunity. They want to stick where they're at because they're getting a decent paycheck.
It's safe, bro.
And a safe paycheck. And they don't want to find other opportunity and be creative and open up their minds to doing other things because they're so comfortable, quote unquote, obtaining this paycheck every single month or every 2 weeks or whatever, however you get paid, rather than quit your job, take a $40,000 pay cut and actually work on something that you create. And we're taught that that's the wrong thing to do, and it shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way. Even for myself, like, I could speak for myself saying, like, even as I was, like, continuing to get a paycheck and all that sort of stuff, like, I don't feel like I should go out and reach another job or try to look for another position that's going to keep me stuck doing this. I'm doing what I'm doing right now, not because I'm furloughed, but even when I was working at a corporate office.
Really, that's the crazy thing is nothing's really changed.
Right. But it gave me the opportunity to do what I wanted to do. It gave me freedom and time to do the other things I wanted to do. Sure, I can go out and look for another job and be stuck and then be tired at the end of the day and not want to work on my side business. But, like, the reason I'm still staying, and I've told you that before, like, the reason we're still staying at these positions is so that we can have the opportunity to do what we want.
Yeah.
And be creative and write your screenplay or read a book or watch movies or create a podcast or, like, that shit is what makes me happy.
Yeah, man. And I think that's, I don't, and I'm going to say this now, I don't think that our employer does that purposely. I think that's just because they're oblivious.
No. But
So,
yeah.
I'm going to say that. There's a lot of corporate, and I think that's, in kind of going on to a different part of this, is like, that's, if you have a good employer knows that they work, and we kind of said this with Mark last time. It's like, they'll know that they work for you. So it's like a lot of good employers will make sure it's like, hey, you do these things on the side that makes you happy, that'll make you happy here. Yep. It's like, we'll make that happen for you.
Sure.
I think that's big.
And they'll put you in a position to be successful in your life for things that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Because how can we work around your schedule?
Because if you're happy, man, then like,
you're gonna put out good work.
Exactly.
You're gonna put out good work for the company. Exactly. If you're happy, if you're stress free, and you get to go home with a smile on your face, and you get to work on your other job without being completely dead ass tired,
yeah,
you're gonna continue to want to work there.
Yeah.
And it honestly is good for the corporate job or the corporate office that wants to hire you on or whatever. But yeah, I totally agree with you. Like, I think that if employers are able to do that sort of thing for you, you're gonna be more open to wanting to do better.
You feel more, you're respected.
And you're respected.
You feel like you matter.
And on the flip side, you get to do things that you love and take the time you need to be with family and friends and go on vacation, do all that sort of shit.
That's what kills. I think that's why a lot of people frown upon the corporate office, because there's a lot of dickheads that work there and they get power hungry.
Sure.
And it's like, you got, man,
like, be, like, in control of your life.
We've both worked with a man who's done that. And like, it's just, bro, it blows my mind. It's like, have some fucking perspective. Like, do you want to be like, you really that power drunk?
And we talked about it with Mark last time too. It's like it's like, I hate to say it, but it is a generational thing. It's things that we're taught through generations.
Like, I'm the boss, I'm gonna be a dick. It's like, fuck you, man. Yeah. Like, just to put in perspective, when I left that position, he took over my job as manager. And I mean, I just felt like I handled the job so much better.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, know where you are, man. Know who you're working with. Know your demographic. Like, just like know your employees. Like, get to know them. Know who they are. How do they operate? It's just like, there's just so many different things you take into account. Like, this person works best like this. This person works best like this. They like to be talked to like this. I can talk to this person like this. You just have to know who you're working with.
And I think that's a good segue to talking about how you can find opportunity within the workplace. Yeah. At a 9-to-5 job. Like, being able to talk to coworkers investigating and doing your research with people,
Mm-hmm.
how they got to certain positions in your job, if that's something that you want to do. Like, how can you, like, what were you talking about earlier about?
It was like, so so we talk about how like how to grow, and we'll get into more growth like social media wise and our what we do, but like then there's always the people that we know there's the other side of the people that do work 9 to 5 and they do want to progress in a corporate job, and it's like if you want to progress in a corporate job, you also have to do your research. So it's like okay, I just got an entry level job as an account rep or whatever at a company. It's like I see the people above me and I'm like I want that job, or I want the one above. It's like sometimes you have to know if there's growth.
Right.
So it's like, let me go probe a little bit. Let me go look around. Let me go talk to some people. You know what I mean? I gotta go look around. I gotta go deal with some shit, right? So you go up and you ask like, hey, how long you been here? Where'd you work before this? Did you work here before that? And like just ask. So like they'll know like, well, they hired me from outside, right?
You gotta probe these guys.
Yeah. It's like so it's like it's like I worked from outside. It's like, okay, well maybe I should look elsewhere because there probably isn't a lot of growth here because they're hiring from outside. They're not going to hire from within, right? And a lot of people don't do that. They just sit and wait.
Well, because they're fucking lazy.
Yeah, it's like, well, one day I'll just keep putting out good work and it'll come to me.
What was the analogy you used?
Oh, it was like the record deal thing. I was like, you don't see any artists that like just like sit at home and they're just like making music up. And then one day, here you go. Here's your record deal. It's like, no, it doesn't work, man. It doesn't happen. You gotta get out there. You gotta fucking work for it. You gotta get it, man.
Not only that, like you build a relationship with these people because you're thoroughly invested in like their life.
You show interest. Yeah,
you show interest in what they do.
Care.
So that builds your ability to communicate. Number one. Number two, show your personality, what kind of person you are. And number three, network.
Yeah, dude.
You're networking.
Yeah.
And that's.
And while you're feeling, you don't know what kind of information you're going to get from them because they've been in this world longer than you have. It's like, it's just knowledge. You're just getting knowledge and knowledge and knowledge.
And that's why, like, at the very end of, like, and I've only been interviewed, well, actually, that's a lie. I've been interviewed, like, 6 or 7 times. I've been interviewed quite a lot for, like, whatever positions. But at the very end of the interview, I'm like, how did you get here? Like, what made you pick this position? How did you get here? Why did you do it? Like, I asked, like, what's your reason for becoming or doing this job? Mm-hmm. And I'm honestly thoroughly like interested in what they have to say. Like, how the hell did you get here? Why are you interviewing me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, interesting.
It's interesting to know like where these people come from and how they got there, and not only that, it gives you perspective on how to do it for yourself and like how are you going to grow? How are these people able to grow, and all that sort of shit. Like, or maybe they need to understand like, hey, these people haven't grown at all. They've been in the same fucking spot for 20 fucking years, blowing their brains out. Like, maybe I should book it and get the fuck out. So
and that's the thing, man. Like, in company culture, and that's kind of like a big feel, man. Especially in corporate offices, when you go in for the interview and you look at the morale and the way that people are behaving, the way people are acting, you can see like, all right, man, these people look like they want to kill themselves.
And that was exactly what was happening when we were driving around the building. Remember the other time we were driving around the building, everyone looked like zombies?
When? When?
We were driving around the building at our office, man. And you're like, this is where dreams go to die.
Oh, yeah,
we saw people walk and they were just like...
Yeah, they're just like boring and they're just
were like bored.
Upset.
And like
you can
zombies.
You can feel, man, like vibes.
No one was happy.
It's like, man, like...
They were depressed. I mean, this is only our position, but like...
This may not happen everywhere. This is just what we saw that one day.
No. But like,
and
obviously, like,
wild,
if you like go to like Google and like Apple and they have like the freaking sleep pods and bean bags and
that's
shit,
what
like,
makes a company fun is like how do you care about your employees, and a lot of companies don't, man.
Yeah, and so like that's what I'm saying. Like we were driving around our freaking company the other day, and it literally looked like a zombie invasion.
People just walking around.
People just walking around mindlessly, like as if they got their blood.
That annoys me so much, bro. It's like how. Like, your only physical activity is when you go out on your lunch break and walk.
And you walk around. I've been to the building. You walk around. My mom tells me that she sometimes just walks around the building for exercise.
Bro, what the hell is that?
Mom, I mean, you haven't been affected by this? You've been working for the state and a desk for 40 years? Like, and, I mean, and like I said, everyone's different. So, like, she's just built differently and she can do it. And she's been doing it for years. And she's like, yeah, I'm fine with it. It is what it is. But... on the flip side, like, for someone that's young and aspiring for dreams and want to work for dreams and obtaining their dreams, like, you don't want to be that. You don't want to do that. And it's upsetting. And I've done it myself. You doing it right now, even while being at home. And
yeah,
it takes a toll on you. It's not something that you can see yourself doing.
And that's the thing is, like, I know I have like, self perspective, like not self-respect. I get, well, I guess that's the way to put it. Perspective on like the situation, and I know like, okay, I need this job because I have stuff to pay, and I have like the flexibility. They give me flexibility to work with me. I can work whenever I want, wherever I want, as long as I get the shit done.
Yes.
So I give it a minimum of my attention of the day.
Right.
Because I know, especially when we're at the office, I was so unhappy just like being there.
Bro,
I'm serious. I'm not gonna lie to anybody,
you
bro. I was
pissed.
just like, fuck this place. I just couldn't stand it. Like, it was so bad. And like, I knew that. So it's like, okay, I have the opportunity to do this from home. I will give it the minimum of my attention span because I just don't need it. I don't need this shit. So I'll get the shit done they asked me to get done, and that's it. I give them the bare minimum.
Yeah.
So that I can take my attention and my energy to my other things.
Remember that one time we were watching.
Bro,
we were watching. Was it Stranger Things?
We watched 2 fucking episodes in my office, and no one said a fucking
word.
word. We watched the whole thing. That's like 2 hours.
It was like
on
2 hours in your
and I
office.
was like, "Fuck, we should probably do some work."
I got up and I looked around. I went to go to get a snack and I walked back.
Nothing,
in.
and nothing
it
happened.
was dead silent in there.
Yeah, dude. Okay, some perspective. This is honest to God. I wrote a fucking novel. I wrote a book
You wrote an
for a
entire
week
book.
straight on my laptop. I wrote a whole fucking book and no one even noticed. I wrote a 66,000 word book at work in my office and no one said a word. I read another story, crazy story. When I bought Supermarket by Logic, I bought it the day it came out. I remember I left to go get it. I came back. I read the novel the whole day. I didn't do a lick of work.
Jesus Christ.
It's crazy shit, bro. Like, that's nuts. It's wild.
But can you imagine just sitting there and just doing nothing?
That's what we would have been doing, which is so
Which
wild.
is why I bring that up. Because I guarantee you, there are other positions like that in other companies
I heard
that are doing the exact same shit.
This gets me going. I heard this thing from Gary Vee one time. And he said, corporate office, you work 8 hours, right? There's 8-hour days,
Right.
Which is like, he gave the figure, it was like X amount of hours in the week. And he goes, well, that 8 hours, you spend 2 hours on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
You spend an hour bullshitting with your friends. You spend 40 minutes to 2 hours in wasted meetings. So really, you're working.
You go an hour for lunch.
Yeah, you go for an
pick
hour
up
for
food.
lunch. You
Yeah.
dip out at 4. He goes, in reality, the corporate office worker legitimately works and then there's a time that you do work. Let's say you put your shit to work. You work on average, a corporate person, it's wild, 6 hours a week.
6 hours a week.
It's like a week. I'm not talking a fucking day. I'm talking a week
That's
of
nuts.
like actual work. I am working 6 hours.
Wow. And that's like an actual statistic. Like
Crazy.
We're doing this like.
This is what from Gary Vaynerchuk, man. Go look up his quote on it. It's legit. It's real shit.
Jesus.
And what's wild is like people are like, oh, like you're gonna work, but like no, you're fucking not. No. And honestly, like I don't even like I believe that because it's like how many times we go to meetings for like 2 hours and we just sat there and it was shit that could have been said over a fucking email.
My dad, like I told you, my dad works from home and he's on meetings every day and he just sits there on his phone. And whenever they need him, they'll ask him to say something and he'll say it for maybe like 2-3 minutes. No offense, Dad, but that's all I see him doing. Then he gets up, makes food, talks to the dog, goes home.
Goes home. He is at home.
Well, you know what I mean? You just talk to the dog, play with the dog.
But the crazy thing is, I don't know your dad's position. It's just like I guarantee that meeting that they have where he says that thing for 3 minutes could have been done over a fucking email.
Yeah.
Everybody send in your data. We'll analyze. And we'll send the report back out to you.
It's funny.
Meeting adjourned. It's over.
It's funny because
that could have been done.
His company is a data analytical company.
Wow. I guarantee that's what it is.
So what you just said is spot on.
You guys all send me your data. I'll analyze, interpret, separate, segment, and I'll send you the report. And now we all have the information. Done. Over. Meeting adjourned. It took fucking, a day for the person to actually analyze and interpret the data to get back to you guys?
Company, man. I'm telling you. And I sit there and I listen to conversations. Like I told you, remember I showed you? They have a fucking smoke
club.
A fucking meat smoking club, bro. If my dad pulls up somebody from like FaceTime or Zoom or whatever the services they use, he's asking, all right, what'd you smoke this weekend, man?
They're not even talking about work. It's the same concept. They were at an office and they were just at the break room just shooting shit. Like,
that's what I'm saying. So yeah, I mean it's true. Like even all the way up to that point, like it's the same amount of hours you're putting in per day. But like for other positions, if you're saying have like a higher level position, you have more people working there, and like a boss that's on your ass all the time, like, you're not going to be able to do any other kind of work there. You're there for 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to fill your gaps of time by doing other random ass bullshit throughout the day. And you waste your time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happens. That's why I'm not so fond of those sorts of positions.
We kind of just went on a rant, 9 to 5 shit.
But it's true.
It is true.
I'm not
gonna
shit
lie.
we experience on a daily.
Yeah.
Like, you saw the video and you were like, oh my god. You sent it to me right there on the spot. I saw this and I was like, oh my
The emails?
god. No, well, the freaking video about working only 2 hours a day from Gary Vaynerchuk.
Oh, yeah.
That is literally fucking us. Like, that
Yes,
was us.
dude. Yeah, it's insane.
Almost every single video he says about 9-to-5 job, it's, oh my god, it's us. It's like,
Yeah.
bro, what the fuck? We're not the only ones experiencing this shit. So that's why when I
man.
talk about it, like, I know other people are out there just, holy shit, he's right, man. Fuck, I'm gonna get the fuck out.
We need to have an episode where we talk about shit that happens at our workplace. Because there's shit
there's shit
that
you just won't
that
believe.
you would not believe.
There's shit
that things
people
that happen,
won't-
the things
people
that we
won't
do.
believe it, man. I guarantee. Like that one time where Rios pulled up that wiener picture on the
Oh
on his
god.
computer.
The one time I used to fuck with.
And you
computer all the time.
labeled the background of his computer with pictures of Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin walked by, or the boss walked by, didn't even realize what the fuck happened.
It was his face blown up. Oh man, what was it, dude? Like,
It was Nicolas Cage. But
was
his
it? No, it
mouth-
was Vin Diesel.
Oh,
it was Vin Diesel.
But his face was like shrunken in, and he had like thumb.
I've even put it as our boss that a couple of times. Remember,
Yes.
bro? Oh my god.
Anyways. But that's the point, man. Like, coming down to it, like, you gotta create yourself. You gotta put yourself
in a position
to find opportunity, be creative, expand your creative mind. Like, expanding your and I'll close with this. Expanding your creative mind is so much fucking fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, dude.
using your creative mind to create something you only made, not anybody else. Like, like you saw people doing all this sorts of shit, and you gathered all that shit and put it in your head, and you put it out.
Yeah.
Like, that is fun, and I think it's so much fun to do that. Like, in any type of work.
You surprise yourself, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I surprise myself, man, because I'm like a huge reader and I like to listen to music, and like when I come up with these stories, bro, it's like, holy shit, I actually
Remember
came
the
up
scary
with this.
movies or scary stories?
Yeah,
I
dude,
wrote?
it's
I was
quite
like,
it's crazy the
that's a
shit
good
you
story.
can dig up, man.
Yeah,
like, it's
there's shit in
insane.
there, man.
So I mean, it's the same concept. It's like I wrote that, and this is crazy. It's like I wrote that book, and I'm talking about what we talked about, and I put it away for like months. Cause I
And
thought,
you came back to it?
it ain't good. I just like, I thought I forced it because I thought
Yeah.
I was forcing it.
Right.
And when I came back and read it again months later, I was like, damn, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's the idea that you can create shit. It's out there. You just have to like legitimately give yourself the opportunity.
Yeah. Give yourself
To
an
do it.
opportunity. Put some time
Yeah, it's time.
into it, and give yourself some time.
It's the same thing with like the 10,000 hour thing, man.
Right?
That I
Make
said
time
last time.
to do those things. You
Yeah.
got your whole life ahead of you. You got only one life. You know,
Do
show the world your creativity and
Yeah,
what
man.
you're able to create. I think
man.
that's, people will remember you for the creative shit you put out, not the fucking
And like we're living,
bullshit stories you
it's
talked
like
about
we're
in the
living
break.
in a hell of a good time to do shit, to like be creative, man. Like it's just
Yeah.
like the time to do
There's
it.
so many
Like,
different apps and
dude,
shit.
like you have
software
a
created
you
to do that.
have a app on your phone, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, that will, whatever you post
TikTok.
is accessible to
Everybody.
everyone.
And it's free.
It's free.
So,
Yeah. So opportunities there. You just gotta fucking go out there and get it.
yep. We'll close with that, people. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in on this lovely conversation.
Yeah, we need more funny shit on here, man.
All right, we're gonna talk about
working
some
on it.
stories.
Yeah, stories, and then like we had that idea
We're
about
gonna.
getting
I think
shit
our
fixed.
next one, Thursday.
Mhm.
We'll have to film Thursday because I'm out of town
Yeah,
this
yeah.
weekend. But Thursday we'll do stories of The Office.
Dude, yes.
Let's talk about stories. We'll see if we can get some people on. We'll try, but we'll see.
Yeah, probably I can get a phone call or something and put somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do something like that.
All right, guys. You know where to find us. Hopefully, if not, Common Ground Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, maybe LinkedIn someday.
No.
We'll see. YouTube.
YouTube, yeah, always on YouTube. Though.
Yeah, we post on pretty much every single platform. Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Overcast.
Overcast, Podbean. Well, Podbean's our website, but yeah, we got all our episodes on there. So if you want to tune in, or if you want to watch it on video on YouTube, you can see Elijah's stupid face, and subscribe on there. Like this video, comment, DM us.
I keep forgetting to wear that goddamn sweatshirt.
Yeah, some guy talked shit about the sweatshirt.
I keep forgetting
Oh
to
yeah,
wear it.
so talk shit to us. Give us some positive feedback, negative feedback,
Whatever you want to say.
mutual feedback, whatever it is. Let us know. And
Yeah.
we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thanks so much.
Yeah.